So you've decided to buy a boat, but you may be feeling a little lost or in the deep end of the actual step-by-step process and how to do that. The brokerage boat buying process is so often compared to real estate transactions, and while there are a lot of similarities, there are also a few key differences. I'm Charlotte Kinkade, and I'm a professional yacht broker for East Coast Yacht Sales. I am super passionate about empowering boat buyers to make informed purchase decisions. So today I'm going to break down the brokerage boat purchase process step by step for you, from start to sailing. The first step in this process is shopping. And while shopping can be super fun, it can also be a little bit frustrating. So a little bit of proper preparation does set us up for success and a much more positive purchase experience. At this point, you're probably already confident whether you're a sailboat or a powerboat buyer. So this is a little bit more of an in-depth look at how you're going to be using your boat. I like to give the boat buyers that work with me a little bit of homework here. How do you envision your ideal day on the water? A rule of thumb that does come in helpful here is a little bit of an 80-20 principle. How are you going to be using this boat 80% of the time? Are you a weekend warrior? Are you a long-term cruiser, blue water sailor? Or are you a casual beer on the Friday afternoon, striper fishing from the dock? So if you take a step back and really think about how you're about to use the boat, it will really help you determine what's necessary to have on board. We're going to be shopping for a boat that can do what you want to do 80-85% of the time. And most boats' abilities can be stretched a little bit beyond that, but we're really shopping for a boat that you're going to be happy and comfortable on board every day. So I like to start with a list with my clients of what absolutely needs to be outfitted on board. This is also the point in the process where I like to have my clients take a look at the projected costs that you're going to come into annually with service and storage of your vessel, as well as the cost that's going to go into this purchase process. So once we plug and play that data into a spreadsheet I like to use with my clients, this will help us determine the overall budget for this new boat purchase. And if you'd like to see that, I'd be happy to share it with you. Just let me know in the comment section down below. Once we have that homework all set and we have a good idea of what you're looking for on board and how much money we have to spend, this is when the real fun gets to start. And for me as a broker, this is when the real work kicks in. So if you do choose to work with a yacht broker, this part of the shopping can be super fun. For me, I like to start off by pulling a laundry list of potential boats, and we'll go through with my clients, we'll redline them, we'll scratch off we like this feature, we don't like this feature, this boat doesn't appeal to me aesthetically. And so we go through, we like, we love, and the boats that really seem to fit the needs of my clients we'll schedule to get on board. And onboard inspections can be done virtually or in real life. For a lot of my buyers, time is a vital resource. So working with a yacht broker can be a serious asset. As a buying agent, I am more than happy to travel to the boat and do an initial inspection for you. We'll snap a quick video for them, send them back some thoughts on the boat, and we'll see if it's a good fit from there. If you want to learn more about that process and what it's like to shop with a broker, go ahead, let me know in the comment section down below. I would be happy to answer any and all questions. So say we're at the point where it appears we found the perfect boat for you and you're ready to buy this boat. Now it's time to present your offer. Now an offer should be both competitive and fair. You do want to buy the boat for the lowest dollar amount possible, but at the same time, you don't want to be perceived as lowballing the seller by presenting an out of the ballpark offer. It is important to look at a variety of data points before presenting your offer. These should be the asking price for the vessel, how long she's been on the market, other recently sold boats that are similar to that, how long they were on the market, as well as similarly listed boats and what they're going for. Included in your offer should be the dollar amount you're willing to pay for the vessel and a number of other terms. This will also include an expiration date for that offer to be accepted, and this is where we set the timeline for the remainder of this purchase process. Now, an offer can be subject to any number of things. This might include a marine survey, a structural survey, a sea trial, financing approval, and in some situations, you can also have an escrow holdback agreement as part of this. An escrow holdback agreement deserves its whole other YouTube video explanation, and I'd be happy to answer questions about escrows. It's a great way to buy a boat in the New England off season, for instance, when you can't adequately test all the systems that are on board. But enough about that for now. Say we've presented our offer. Most often an initial offer is countered. So when we're looking at these data points, it's important to start with a low and an absolute high number of what you're willing to spend on this boat. And that's kind of where that spreadsheet really helps you with the proper planning. selling. So it is good to have that bandwidth of what you're willing to pay for the boat. You're going to present an offer, you'll go into negotiations, maybe they'll counter, accept, or reject. But if they do accept your offer, congratulations, you are now officially under agreement on that boat and she is reserved for you. She's held off the market for you with a 10% deposit, which is refundable up until the acceptance date. So now it's time to hire industry experts to assess how the boat stands structurally and mechanically. The marine survey process provides a snapshot of how the vessel stands. The reason why you hired these highly qualified marine industry experts is to find flaws in the vessel. So there are always going to be a list of recommendations at the end of the report that may need to be tended to immediately or looked after in your long-term ownership of the vessel. A lot of insurance companies require a marine survey in order to issue a binder of coverage for the boat. 99.9999% of the time, I have my clients go through this traditional marine survey. No matter how new the boat is, no matter what a great history of documented service there is. And depending on the complexity of the vessel in question, you may be hiring more than one surveyor to do your inspections. For instance, you would have one surveyor focusing on the structural integrity of the vessel, while another was inspecting her propulsion systems. Every deal is a little bit different, and if you do have questions about the marine survey process, or if you'd like a list of names and contact information of marine surveyors that my clients have used and really enjoyed, I'd be more than happy to share that contact information with you. Just let me know in the comment section down below. My background in the marine industry has been focused largely on the service side of things. I am a certified marine service manager. I deeply value a very well documented history of quality service. You may have seen in a couple other of my walkthrough tours of boats, when I come across a boat binder or a good thorough ship's log, I have a boat nerd geek out moment, and I just really appreciate boats that have been well looked after. I've been in this industry for a number of years, and I've spent pretty much every day of my life on or around the water. I like to think of myself as kind of a player coach in this scenario. So one of the things I like to do with all of my buyers is thoroughly review our survey results before we go into this next stage of the brokerage boat purchase process. My firsthand experience has shown that a boat with a well-documented high level of regular and reputable service is a serious selling point. It is such a great way to represent a boat that's for sale, as well as a really good standard practice that I firmly believe all boat owners should jump on: the boat binder. And if you do choose to work with me as your buying broker, you will see that I do teach what I live, and I'd be more than happy to share with you my personal boat binders and how I put together and maintain boat service records. Once we've gotten back your survey results and we've thoroughly dove into the details and the summary recommendations at the end of each report, it's time to either or get off the pot with this boat. We are at or approaching the acceptance of vessel deadline. So with the acceptance of vessel, we have 3 routes we can go. The first being, we found some serious red flags about the boat and we've decided that this just isn't the boat for you. There's maybe too many projects to take on at this time, and she is actually failing in too many ways, and it's really time for you to walk away from the deal. So in that first case, we have you sign a rejection of vessel, and that boat is released from the purchase and sale agreement and she goes back on the market. So that's option 1. Not very fun if you really wanted to buy the boat. Option 2 is we can return to negotiations. Say we found a couple of things like A, B, and C were kind of issues. A, B, and C aren't working on board. You missed a very important iteration of service. Any of these things, we can go back and make a choice here. We can either ask the seller to have A, B, and C taken care of and then agree to purchase the boat following those fixes, or we can go to the seller and propose a price concession be made. In this case, we'll have a rough idea, maybe we'll go and get some estimates from a yard to have an even better idea of what A, B, and C are going to cost us, and we'll ask for that dollar amount to be taken off of the purchase price of the vessel. And in that case, if they do agree to that, or if they do agree to that in part, we take that budget, pop it over into our purchase spreadsheet, and it gives you a dollar amount to work off of to have those fixes be done once you've taken ownership of the vessel. So now, which way do you want to go? Do you want to ask for the seller to do this number of things, or do you want to propose a price concession? In most cases, my personal preference is the price concession route. With the first option, you are asking the seller to do work on a boat that they're about to not own any longer, which can be a little bit more challenging psychologically to get them to shell out money for something that won't be theirs and they won't get to enjoy that. And then the other reason is I'm a little bit of a control freak. I like to have the ability to choose my favorite service providers to do that work that needs to be completed. That way it's done on my timeline with my people. I, in most cases, will prefer a price concession. Overall, it may be 6 of one, half a dozen of another in how much money you end up saving or getting through this process, and it is contingent upon the deal itself, but by and large, price concessions are generally a cleaner way to do this. And the other option in this step of vessel acceptance is the ideal circumstance, being that the boat passed her survey inspections with flying colors. She's fantastic, everything on board works swimmingly, and you're ready to buy the boat as she stands right now. So in that case, we have you sign an acceptance of vessel form, and this legally binds you to buy the boat. And this acceptance of vessel also turns that 10% refundable deposit into a first form of payment for the boat. And we're getting closer and closer, and we're almost there to you owning this new boat. So the very last step in all of this is closing, which is the way we legally finalize the boat being yours. So in most circumstances, this is when we bring in another entity, and this is where having that proper preparation really makes the process a lot easier. Now we need to have bills of sale created for this deal, and in most cases, the very best people to create bills of sale and closing documents for any boat purchase deal is a marine documentation specialist. They can also handle the filing of your registration paperwork, whether it be to the state jurisdiction where you're going to be or to the US Coast Guard. And the rules and regulations vary from every state you go to, so it is important to make sure that we've crossed all our I's, dotted our T's, and that you're ready to go. I am happy to set you up with a marine documentation specialist. We have a nice Rolodex of people that my clients are very, very happy working with. They'll put the paperwork together. Those bills of sales need to be fully executed with a notary. Those get held in escrow, and then the balance of funds are due on the boat. Once those funds are free and clear and we have the bills of sale, we are technically closed on the vessel, and it is time for you to turn your insurance on the boat. This is really important, and this is that whole proper preparation. It is so important that we've done this prep work in order for you to actually enjoy your boat. Here's one of the things. Say we're closing on a Friday afternoon, we've done the wires, we sent it all, the bills of sale are there ready to go, but somebody forgot to call their insurance company and you don't have coverage on your boat yet. It's awesome, it's great, you're about to crack champagne on the bow, but you can't sail away from the dock. This can be kind of a bummer. This is why we have checklists and we have paperwork, and this is one of the reasons, I'm gonna put a shameless self-plug in here right now, that it does make your life a heck of a lot easier to work with a yacht broker. If you do have any questions, I know this was a lot of talking head time. I would be happy to dive into further details on any of these subjects. If you would like my budget spreadsheet for boat buying, or if you would like to be connected with a marine surveyor or a marine documentation specialist, I'd be more than happy to share my favorites with you. And usually I like to close out these videos by saying thank you for joining me on board today, but we are in my living room. Thank you for hanging with me. If you did get value from this video, I would appreciate you pressing that like button and subscribing to my channel for more boating related content. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you out on the water soon. And my phone is ringing. Here we go. Hello, this is Charlotte.
Hey Charlotte, it's Brokerage office.
Hi.
Hi, so your COVID test is negative.
Oh my God, thank God. Whew.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Whew.